Hello everybody, welcome to the Northern Film Review. This week we are going to be interviewing Lottie about her film and how she's going to be coming up to pre-production and like sort of the production process before production, because we haven't really talked to anyone about that before they actually film. So it'll be interesting. So yeah, hope you enjoy. The Northern Film Review with your hosts Oliver Ellis and Luke Simpson. Hello everybody, how are we all?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Good?
Good.
Happy and healthy?
Happy and healthy.
Is
yeah.
it happy and healthy?
I don't know.
Please
couldn't-
search it up quickly before we start.
We were talking about Olivia Rodrigo's "Good for You." We're not sure if it's happy and healthy
Or happy in hell.
happy and healthy. I think it's good, happy and healthy.
I thought it was happy and
I think it
healthy.
makes more sense, but
Yeah.
It does make more sense. I'm trying to find it now, but I don't really want to.
no, it's fine. It's I'll look it up whilst I'm sort of. So how are you, Lottie?
I am pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Wasn't a long walk here, so
No.
it's also pretty nice. It's also a super nice evening too. So
Yeah, it is. It's much nicer
Surprising.
now.
Yeah, it's been like really nice this past
with all
what?
the storms going on, and now it's really kind of died down. It's
Yeah.
not windy. It's great.
A little bit warm as well, which is what we
No,
want.
but yeah.
Mm.
Sun cream out,
Yeah.
shorts
yeah,
out, lovely.
Went on a nice run yesterday. It's good.
Shorts out.
Yeah, it is happy and healthy.
Yeah.
No
But
way.
yeah.
Get in.
That's pretty
But
nice.
yeah, so you're sort of like directing a film at the moment, like many people are, and you're sort of like in the you haven't filmed yet, which is interesting. So you haven't actually like interviewed anyone who has not filmed yet.
I was supposed to, which is why I thought you were interviewing me. But
No, it's interesting sort of get the perspective before the sort of like thing, because you know they film it and like because we interviewed like Danny like literally the day after we'd like properly stopped filming.
Yeah,
and
he
he'd been,
got
like,
back at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, and then woke up at
Really?
I
9.
woke up at 9.
And then we like interviewed him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, can we?
And he
just
like
have a
his
pint?
brain was just like, I don't want to function right now.
Yeah, and then he told us his favorite film was Kung Fu Panda, and I'm completely scarred by that. But,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're gonna be doing Rising Sun, isn't it?
yeah, The Rising Sun. So I'm directing it, and unlike other directors, usually they've written it as well. But I haven't written this. It's written by Kyle Brumpton, who it's like loosely based around his granddad and loosely based around the pub that he used to walk past every morning to get to uni. So he's very, very familiar with the characters and like what he wanted from this, and he also wanted to direct it. So coming on and directing a film that is not your own, especially doing it with somebody who wanted to direct it themselves, was kind of a lot of pressure as well, to be honest with you. But we've kind of got past a few little bumps and hurdles,
Okay.
and yeah, we're on the same page, and
Yeah.
it's going well.
What were the sort of bumps and hurdles then? So what was the sort of like, tension?
So the characters, as I mentioned before, are very, very potent, and getting them right to a T was essential in making this film, like make or break this film. And I had my ideas. Kyle obviously had his own ideas, and it was just kind of coming together and negotiating about what we wanted and what we didn't want. And that was a bit back and forth with that, but yeah, we got there eventually.
So when you first got the script, what was your like mindset? So what did you do when you first got the script and like you broke it down? What was your way of tackling that?
So I'm a very visual storyteller. So the first
That's
thing
good.
I did,
Yeah.
yeah,
Director,
thank
yeah.
God. So the first thing I did was somewhat make a brief storyboard, but like in words. So it's like a written storyboard. And I took that to Kyle and Andy, who's our producer, and I said, these are kind of my ideas, and there's some ideas that are not in the script, but I'd like to explore them with you. So we did that, and one of the main ones was, well, I haven't really explained what the script is about, but
What is it about then?
well, it's about the secret lives of 4 old men, John, Frank, Reggie, and John Joe. And each of them they get told by their families and their doctors, you need to stop drinking, you need to stop smoking, you're ruining your bodies. But every Wednesday night, they go to their abandoned local pub and they smoke, drink, and gamble with each other. They play poker and they just simply have fun. And at the point that we join them in the film, our main character, John, he has a stroke while he has the royal flush. And it's because he has the royal flush that he has a stroke. Which, if you don't play poker, it means that you've won. So he was really surprised at the rarity of getting one. and it's whether he can cling on till the end and outsee the game and see if he can win against his opponent, Frank, who is the only other person left in the game. And yeah, that's basically the story. So when I first got on board, what I wanted to do, there's a moment where they play in silence, poker, in their little game, in their little world, and I wanted to take that into something magical almost. Not magical, but something to show that they think it's magical. So kind of drop the background into darkness, change the table into an actual casino poker table, and add some underscoring in to make it feel as if they were actually playing poker in a casino. So some sort of hyper real world that they wanted to be in. We basically fell into their fantasy, because that it is what it is, that it's their fantasy, and I wanted the audience to experience that as well. But unfortunately we couldn't do that because of time limitations, and also just the money for production design and budget. You would be surprised how expensive it all is. And another reason, we wanted to do it on location as well, but this could only be done in a set, and it wasn't worth the compromise, because having a location is so much better than a set for this film.
Did you have like an idea of where, before you couldn't do it on location, did you have like an idea where you wanted to film it?
We knew we wanted the Rising Sun because it's a real place. It's actually on Kirksall Road, and we wanted to film in there, but when we went on the recce, we realised that it had been trashed completely, and we couldn't film in there. So we had to look for another pub, which also looked like the inside of the Rising Sun, which is a little bit difficult because some of them were like in the basement, some of them didn't have the right windows, and some of them didn't want us filming there at all. But we found a place in Pudsey, thanks to Danny Lavin.
Oh wow, yeah.
Who did Those Who Do Bad Things. Yeah, thanks to him we found our location, and it's just an abandoned warehouse, and it looks amazing for the abandoned pub. But yeah, we knew we wanted it to be a location, but that was a bit back and forth as well, due to not being able to find one simply.
Yeah. I mean, I think the difference between like location and sort of like set is like building the set is so difficult, because I was on I was acting on Shroom Baby last week, and sort of like the difficulties they had with like the set and sort of like having to set it up and like, you know, but it's quite nice being in a nice warm place and not having to have a coat on, and it's difficult things. So like with your, like, you were talking about like sort of the script development process with Kyle, was that a difficult process? Because you said like he also wanted to direct. Was there a lot of sort of, you know, tensions there, or maybe there was like sort of like a nicer, more collaborative, creative environment there, or what was the sort of vibe with that?
So I don't want to trash Kyle, but I think he was very much in a director's mindset. Yeah. Even while he, like, in the beginning of the process, because I don't know if he knew how to let me take control of the film in a way.
Yeah.
So I found that a little bit difficult, but not to the point where it disturbed or upset our creative process. We both wanted the same goal, which was creating this gritty environment with four old men, you know, the people who you kind of ignore in your pubs, in the corner of your pubs, who sit there and drink quietly. And that's who we wanted to focus it on, and just simply pub culture, and we both had that in mind. And so it wasn't too difficult getting past that, but I think, I mean, I don't want to speak for Kyle, but it seems like he found it more difficult to overcome that the mindset of being a director and then having the director role given to me. But it worked out really well, to be honest. I kind of took his inspirations in, and we kind of worked together closely on both of those things, like how he wanted to see it, because he's also the cinematographer, and how I wanted to see it. And I mean, it worked out really well, to be honest.
Oh, that's cool.
It wasn't a bad thing. It didn't go badly.
Yeah. No, I think I've had that struggle before. Like last year, I sort of wrote the script, and I was also working on the film as like a sound recordist, and like trying to pass off that, you know, what I've made, and seeing like someone creatively interpret it in a different way that I would, was quite difficult for me. But in the end, I sort of thought, they've done it much better than I ever would. So it's quite difficult. So you said before we were recording that you were about to film, but then you couldn't film. So why is that? What's the sort of problems going on
so it is currently Monday, and we were supposed to film last week on Wednesday till Saturday, but unfortunately we couldn't because one of our main characters, Frank, dropped out, and his wife, his actual wife, was also in the film as his character wife.
Oh, okay.
So it worked out pretty well, but no, we couldn't film because they weren't available, and
what were they doing? Were they doing another shoot, or were they?
Well, we're in Leeds, and they were in Northumbria.
Oh my word!
So it's quite far away and quite far for them to travel, especially when we had cast them so late as well.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a nightmare situation, and it was pretty stressful to know that we weren't going to film.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know when else we were going to film. Now we're filming the 30th till the 2nd, which is, completely fine with us. But we were supposed to have finished filming by now, and unfortunately not. So we have 3.5 to 4 weeks now to prepare even more.
Oh god, that's it.
It's quite a lot. So if it goes wrong now, then then that just means we're terrible filmmakers. But no, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
At least you got more time to prepare your set and stuff like that then.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We also got our locations pretty late because we're all doing different films at the same time.
Yeah.
So some of us have had more dedication to other films because they've come first, and then priorities over paperwork. So we also got our locations pretty late, which was not a good thing for our cinematography team or our production design team, because they didn't know what they should get or what they shouldn't get depending on what was there already.
Yeah.
But now that we have more time, I think their portfolios will also be more fleshed out. Yeah. Because they have more time to prepare for that as well. I think I answered the question.
Yeah, I think you did. We're just sort of lots of problems.
Lots of problems.
Technical problems. We always have technical problems. But so you were saying about how you didn't direct a second year film.
No, I did.
You did. Oh, you did. Yeah.
It's a bit confusing because we were all in lockdown and I was up in Newcastle and they said, hey, you can do an experimental, but you're going to be by yourself. You're going to have your own equipment and you're going to be every role basically.
Yeah.
So I guess technically I did. Although it was just my brother who I said, hey, can you move here to here and do this action or do this emotion? So I don't know if it really counts compared to the amount of cast that I'm going to be directing this year.
Yeah.
Which is quite a lot, and lots of people that I don't know, and 4 old men, for example.
Yeah.
Quite a different one.
No, that does seem quite difficult. Sort of the jump between the separate things. So you always wanted to be a director when you came to film school?
I think I had in mind. Yeah, I kind of did. Just because of how the visual storytelling side of things is kind of exactly what I want to be doing, and the opportunity that I have with this film as well to focus on character design and really flesh out who these characters are is also something I really want to invest my time in as well.
Yeah.
Although music videos was actually quite a big striving goal for me.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
To direct those, just because I feel like I know exactly what I want from them and what I don't want from them. And now doing a gritty film is totally different.
Have you done
to
any
that.
practice music videos? So say just got a song that you like. Have you done any of them before? Directed your own music video to, let's say, Olivia Rodrigo's?
Good for you.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, I've actually done loads of those.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, no, I have. That's kind of where it all started.
Is that what kicked you off on wanting to do filmmaking then?
Well, I first was doing animation. I was very invested in that.
Yeah.
Stop motion though, so it's pretty difficult and time consuming. And I was doing that with my brother. And then I kind of got into photography, as I'm sure we all have, doing film. And then that kind of progressed into wanting to do music videos. I think it was just the mix of the visual side of the animation and then the stillness of the photography as well. Really, I don't know, it really caught my attention to do more short videos to focus on what you're seeing rather than a really long video. I didn't really know how to begin with that, to be honest with you. So yeah, music videos kind of fell into my lap, and that's where it all kicked off.
So what music videos have you made then, for what songs?
Oh gosh, it's a long time ago now because that's where it all started. And then I started doing actual films from there.
Have you done different styles for them then? So have you done any stop motion music videos or like photo type?
Yeah, so I keep bringing my brother up. I'm just going to say his name is Felix.
Yeah.
So Felix and I work really closely doing these films together. And he works a lot in Blender. And he does a lot of animation. He does a lot of music, underscoring. He's actually underscoring the film that I'm directing for this graduation film. And he's really good at what he does, and we work well together.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of started doing animation, and I said, hey, I really want to see this. Can you make this for me? How about this character? And he was the one who kind of put the animation together, and I was the one more with the ideas and saying, I'd love to see this or not see this. Now here we are. Might move in together and make films together.
Is he an elder brother, younger brother?
No, he's 18.
18.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. And he's just coming into Leeds Conservatoire this year.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we've got friends who are currently there.
Yeah, no, he loves his underscoring, his music, and I remember I used to play piano, and he hated piano. He was like forced to do lessons.
Yeah.
And then he saw that actually you can make your own pieces.
Yeah.
And then he got really into it, and here we are.
It's like keyboard then now, so you can do different sounds of keyboard. Is that kind of what you got into? If you didn't really like piano, like classical piano.
Well, we have a mini grand at home, and we don't have a keyboard.
Yeah.
But we did get one because I moved out to go to Leeds, and so we started using mine. But because of the classical side of things, he now does orchestral pieces. So like he underscores quite a lot of films, which is how we got into the conservatoire, like with loads of show reels like that.
That's mad.
I honestly think he's amazing. I remember in second year he also did my second year piece and underscored that, and the tutors asked me, who's doing your music? This is really good. You should probably keep them on. I said, well, it's my brother, you know.
I'll definitely keep him on.
I
then.
will, yeah. I'm for free too. So yeah, it just it's a mutual friendship and relationship, and we both help each other out. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's quite a nice sort of collaborative environment. I think those sort of
definitely.
Those collaborative couplings are quite good in filmmaking. I think to sort of
100%.
bring that together. So obviously we're coming to that time of year where it's sort of third year, and we're going to decide what we want to do. I've sort of asked this to previous people we've had on. We've had like answers like, I'm gonna, stay at home for a year and sort of like make weird films, or sort of like become a runner, or like other stuff like that. So what are your sort of plans post uni to like get into the film industry or stuff like that?
So I was originally hoping to go into music videos, but recently I've thought about asking like bigger YouTube channels to maybe take me on. Like loads of YouTube channels I watch, which I've got like, for example, millions of followers or subscribers. Yeah. I thought, what a good idea if I do want to be doing that to email them or to ask them.
Like who have you got in mind?
So I don't know if you've heard of Sam and Colby. Yep. You have? Yeah. Oh, well then.
They were Viners back in the day.
They were Viners, yeah. No, they do really cool videos now, and I've noticed that they take on like young videographers, or they take on young people to take pictures for them for the like social media example, and they just seem to be in the very similar mindset to all of us who are at film school.
Because they are pretty young, aren't they?
They are. They're about 25. Yeah, I think. And they just seem easy to get on with. Yeah. So I mean, that's one example out of many. Have
you heard of Corridor Digital?
No, I haven't.
I mean, they're not English; they're American. But if you like filmmaking and stuff like that, if you give them a watch, they're very interesting. Like they make short films. They do reactions.
They do VFX stuff.
They're VFX heavy, but there's like they do vlogs and stuff like that, showing them how to do VFX. So but they want you to move to America. But
no, I lived in America last year for the majority of the year.
Oh wow!
What is that? So my ex was over there, and I was living with him, and I was living in Colombia and America, and I thought it was really cool and
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, where about which state in America?
So I was in Florida, Orlando.
Oh, nice.
And then just outside of Florida, at the very bottom of Alabama, on like the White Sand Beaches type area, we were there. And unfortunately, we didn't get to go to California, which is kind of where it kicks off with the film and
that's where
videos, etc. Yeah. But we were in Miami as well for a while, so that was pretty cool. And I think if the opportunity came around that I'd go out and maybe work with some of these YouTubers, for example, I think I'm totally down for it. I'd love to do that.
I mean, that's what I want to try and do as well. I mean, not more in the post-production because I'm like editing, so it's like because I mean you see them all the time on Twitter. They just go, "Oh, I'm looking for another editor to add to the collection."
I think that's a big thing with people at film school. Like Will Softy's like edits for like a YouTuber, and that's like his part-time job.
Does he? Wow.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, they went on Fiverr, and then.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was quite funny because it was like you can't like send like emails across on Fiverr because they want you to do it within Fiverr. And the guy sent a Word document with his email in saying, "Hope they don't find this."
Yeah.
And that's how they get in contact.
Way.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That is pretty crazy.
It's a bit of a weird one, but YouTube, it's the way to do it.
It is. I think it's the future. It is.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an idea, and I don't know if they'll get back to me or not, but. The
more channels you try as well, the higher.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to find the emails though because they're so big.
Yeah,
but I've got to.
Normally the descriptions aren't there. They have their socials, and then within the socials, like go onto Instagram, and Instagram they'll have a manager. You contact the manager. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, my uncle also is a film director, and he's called Christopher Riley, and he was nominated for multiple BAFTAs. And I found myself watching a film on Netflix, and then I went to his house. Somehow we got talking, and I went to his house the following week, and I was telling him about this film I was watching, and I was saying how good it was, and I really liked it, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's my film." I was like, "What? That's your film? Like on Netflix? Like that's a huge film." It was called The Fear of 13. And I think
seen that one now.
It was on Danny Lavin's little list of films to watch. So I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. And
Kung Fu Panda. Yeah.
And Kung Fu Panda,
Everyone should watch Kung Fu Panda.
And he was just telling me, like, the struggles of making the film. Like, this guy was in prison for 13 years. And he didn't want to be a part of the film. And then he did want to be a part of the film. And then he didn't, and he did. And it was just a nightmare to, like, work with him. But the film overall turned out really good.
Was it like an A-list actor then? Or
no, it was literally just a guy from prison. But he makes a lot of like space films and like to do with a lot of the planets and just science and space and everything. But so this was quite a different film for him. And then his wife Jackie is also a film producer for BBC One or something. So in terms of leaving university, I think talking to them about connections before America is like the way to go. But yeah, I didn't know that until recently, so I thought it was really cool. I was like, hey, we should probably link up. Maybe you should get me a job somewhere.
Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
No, that'd be nice to have.
It would, yeah.
No, my uncle just sort of, he's just a lecturer. If you want to teach people, that's the way to go. But yeah, we were talking about a little bit about Danny Lavin and his sort of weird world of Kung Fu Panda.
Oh my gosh.
So what's your favourite film, Lottie? You've had like sort of we asked you this before, and you're like, oh, I don't really know. So.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Or have you got like a few that stick to you, or a couple you've seen recently, or?
Well, I said before The Dark Knight was, like one of my all-time favourites. I remember coming down one night and my parents were watching it on TV, and I asked them so many questions because I wanted to know what's going on, and they said, "Can you shut up? We just want to watch the film." And that's kind of where I said, "Hey, I really want to make films like this." It was really cool, and
I think the intro was
the intro was amazing.
One of the best starts to a film. The heist scene, it's just
it is incredible
when it comes to filmmaking and scoring. And
I remember getting the script for that film after watching it and just going through the whole thing and just studying it and analysing it.
The script's great.
Yeah,
it is. I
remember reading it.
It's his brother it's Thingy's brother. What's it? Christopher Nolan's brother who does all the scripts.
Really?
Yeah. So he wrote. He helped write Tenet. He also wrote Westworld, the TV show.
Oh wow!
And stuff like that. It's
that is incredible.
Yeah.
But after watching the recent Batman, I don't know if The Dark Knight is still my favourite.
Yeah, the new Batman.
I mean, I think they're both really good.
Yeah, the new Batman's just incredible. Like, it's Fincher-esque. It is. Because it's a guy who did Matt Reeves did the Rise of the Planet of the Apes films.
Did he?
The final two of them, and he did the first Cloverfield as well.
Oh, I see.
And But he said for this film he got inspired by David Fincher from like Seven and Zodiac. And
I love those films.
You can definitely see because the Riddler in it. Oh my god, freaky as all.
He had a lot to say actually. With Paul Dano.
Yeah.
Paul Dano. Yeah. Apparently, when they first said to him, "Hey, this is your outfit," he said, "No, it's not. The Riddler wouldn't wear this."
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, what would you wear?" And he said, "Well, actually, I'd wear leather because the DNA is harder to trace, and cling film his hair."
Did you hear his interview about the first day he wore the suit? He was suffocating because he actually wore cling film on his head, and because it keeps you from sweating, so the sweat kept going back into his like pores and stuff like that. And he went, for tomorrow, can I have some oils poked in it?
Yeah,
so
it's getting very moist.
Because he goes, oh, I
like a roast chicken.
Yeah, so he didn't want to be the guy to complain on the first day. But yeah, because that's the reason why they wore cling film in the films of the Riddler and the Riddler Lagoons. Was because you won't sweat, and then from the sweat you get DNA and stuff like that. So
so I feel like the two films are very different, and I don't want to say one's better than the other. Yeah, but I feel like
the new one's definitely more grittier.
Yeah,
I think I heard somewhere that it was like an R-rated film into a PG-13. It wanted to be R-rated, or it wanted to be 18 rated, but it had to be 15 in a 15 rated film. So. It was quite violent at points. So it was
very brutal.
Yeah, it's a lot more swearing in it, and I know it's stupid, but a lot more swearing in it than Dark Knight. And for a comic book film, and it's gritty, it's dark, it's bloody,
it's good. It's really good.
Yeah. Do you like the Joker?
In which one?
The film.
Oh, Joker the film.
Yeah.
You were about to say in the. Batman, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought you meant Heath Ledger. I meant the Batman. I was like, which one?
Yeah.
There was multiple. Joker the film, I feel like I went in expecting something else.
Yeah.
Only because I feel like the trailer kind of alluded to something that it wasn't. Which...
It was quite arty.
It was very arty.
It was like a very art house type of
film,
and it was produced by Martin Scorsese, which really contradicts what it says about comic book films, but anyway.
Yeah, I suppose, but you know, it's on a weird one. But sort of coming back to your film a little bit, also sort of this, like you didn't write your script. Did you pitch something?
No, actually, I was still in America, so I wasn't here.
Oh, okay.
And Andrew, our directing tutorial guy, he teaches our directing classes. Andrew, our dude, he basically said to me, because you've come back late, there are multiple scripts that don't have writers. If you want to direct something this year, then you're going to have to pitch yourself and go up against people who also want to direct these things. And I didn't really know what to expect. I wasn't expecting to go up against people. Yeah. But if that's the way that it is, then I guess that's it.
Fight for it.
Yeah, so that's basically what I did. Came back and pitched to direct The Rising Sun, and that was it. I had no other intentions of doing anything else.
Yeah. Oh, well. What's your opinion on writer-directors within the film school? Like, the directors actually writing their own film? Because it's... I mean, there's a lot, like... I think directing is, like, the highest... Like...
The what?
Most filled course.
There's a lot of people in directing,
and
loads of competitive.
And loads of script writers, and script writers don't really get much, like in the filmmaker thing. So, do you think it should have been only script writers write scripts, and then directors like pitch again, like try and compete for that film, or do you think it should have been writer directors?
I think they probably should have mixed it out a little bit more, because there was only 3 films this year out of drama and experimental who didn't have director writer roles. And one of them was mine. And I feel like, as much as it might not be a nice thing to say, I feel like the film school's failed us, because up until 3rd year, we've never had anything other than writer-directors. We've only had the director who's also written it. Whereas this time, we have writers and then separate directors coming together and working together. And unfortunately, I felt as a director that the crew this year has kind of gone to our writer and said, is this okay? Is this what you want? How about this? What about this? Whereas that should be coming to me, not the writer, because in industry, as soon as you give your script over, it's not yours anymore. It's the director's.
They buy your script, and then you can't do all about it.
like, I understand that it's loosely based on the writer's granddad, and I understand that there should be a level of respect there to do with that, but everything else should be coming through me. But because we've been trained to go to the writer, because they've written it and they know what they want from it, because they've written it, that it's them who you ask. And it's been a little bit difficult to be a somewhat respected director because of that.
I think you're right. The film school have been a little bit of a mess the past few years. I know COVID's not helped, but they try and go, industry, we want to do it like the industry. And then when we're doing it like the industry, they're doing it nothing like the industry. Or when we're into the film, they're doing nothing like what they said they wanted to do. With the budgeting and directing.
It's been difficult,
It's difficult,
Yeah, it's been a bit of a shambles in a way.
Yeah.
Only in some aspects. I think some are great, to be honest. But in that aspect, for me personally, with this third-year grad film, it's been, to be honest, a nuisance, because I've had to then cut in and interject and say, please go through me. And I shouldn't have to do that.
And how's that gone? Like, not confronting people like that, but like telling people, right, it's my film now. It's, well, not my film, but I'm directing it now.
It feels a little bit egotistical to put it like plainly.
But you're not trying to be egotistical.
No, not at all.
Trying to get things done.
Trying to get things done, because as much as I want to make this film, I've also got a portfolio to write about how I've been directing a crew and how I've been directing cast. And if I'm not directing anyone, then what am I doing?
Because it's funny, like, for our grad film, we don't get marked on the grad film. We get marked on a write-up. You get literally, you get no credit for your film, which we had to talk about on the way up. I don't know.
It's a bit odd, isn't it?
I mean, it's a film school. We don't get marked on our actual film. It's we get marked on a write-up. So you could technically do the worst film ever, but you can write about it saying how, oh, well, this went wrong, that went wrong, that went wrong. We could do this much better and get a first. It's just a bit weird.
I suppose, so what were we saying? Film school bad.
Film school bad.
Don't go. That's the whole point of the Northern Film Review. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a weird one on this podcast. Sorry, like it's not usually like this.
Technical
difficulties.
We love it.
Having a DJ in before us and then
he refusing to leave,
and then the system crashing. Oh, it's not been a good day.
We got through eventually.
Yeah, we got through.
We get PTSD with that noise now.
Oh my gosh, drum and bass.
Yeah, drum and bass. Peter crashing. Awful.
I hate drum and bass even more now.
Yeah, I went to a drum and bass event the other week and it was a bit weird. But I don't know why I went. So yeah, I think we should just wrap it up there before the system crashes again. It is we're basically on time, so the computer is crashing at the right points. I'm telling myself. But yeah, so yeah, thank you, Lottie, for coming on. It's been great talking to you.
Just
going through your film and seeing.
Yeah, no, of course.
It's interesting getting different people's perspectives on sort of like. It's nice to know that like, not everyone's films are going sort of like completely to plan.
No, not at all.
Like with like those who do bad things with the fire truck and one other film just getting thrown out, and it's just sort of. It's all filmmaking, baby.
It's not a smooth road filmmaking.
Yeah, no,
it's really not.
It's uphills, downhills, mainly downhills, but
yeah, also roundabouts.
Lots of
downhills,
lot of
big steep downhills.
Lots of problem solving.
I mean, in a way, that's what film school is quite good for. Is learning skills, not just for filmmaking. Like problem solving is a massive part of it. Like fixing stuff on the fly and stuff like that. It's like you could be on
100%.
shot, you can be on shoot one day,
like fixing a podcast on the fly.
Yeah, problem solving.
It's all filmmaking. But yeah, thank you, Lottie, for coming on. You've been great. But yeah, so we'll hopefully see you guys next week. And yeah, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.